Ranger Bill, warrior of the woodland, struggling against extreme odds, traveling dangerous trails, fighting the many enemies of nature. This is the job of the guardian of the forest, Ranger Bill. Pouring rain, freezing cold, blistering heat, snow, floods, bears, rattlesnakes, mountain lions. Yes, all this in exchange for the satisfaction and pride of a job well done. Boys and girls, what would you do if a king cobra got out of its cage and escaped, and you were responsible? How would you go about capturing this deadly reptile, a bite from whose fangs means sure death, more deadly than the fer de lance or the bushmaster of South America? A king cobra has enough poison in one injection of venom to kill 500 men. Listen for the story as Bill and his rangers go looking for 12 feet of danger. Our story opens as Paul Pearson, young son of Thad Pearson, director of the Logan County Zoological Gardens, amuses himself by playing idly with a baby boa constrictor. He watches fascinated as the writhing creature slithers across the floor of the snake house. Just as the door opens, George Hill, a longtime head keeper of the zoo, enters.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, George.
I see you're playing with the baby boy again. You'd better be careful, son. That fella's going to gain strength pretty fast in the next couple of months.
I'll watch him. If I feel he's getting too strong for me, I'll quit playing with him.
Well, I don't like you to play with snakes at all. Someday you might make a mistake, and it would be too late.
Oh, I'll be all right. Besides, Dad says it's all right as long as I don't go near the dangerous ones.
I know what your dad said. But you know how I got this crippled left hand of mine?
Sure. You got it from snake bites. 4 of them.
That's right. It's only by the Lord's power that I ever pulled through. Now, you go on, Paul. I've got to feed those killers today, and I don't want you here when I open the cages up.
All right, George, but I'd like to help feed them if you let me.
When you get a little older, son, I can't take any chances now. It'll be too late after you got bit.
Hello there, son. Back so soon from the snake house?
Yeah, Dad.
What's the matter, Paul? You're acting rather down in the mouth.
Oh, nothing. George says that baby boa is going to be too strong for me to play with pretty soon.
That's right, Paul. That what's bothering you?
No, not exactly.
Uh-huh. Something is bothering you, son. Come on, out with it.
Oh, it's nothing, really. Honest.
Oh, come on now, Paul. We've talked over lots of problems before and ironed them out, haven't we?
Let's forget it, huh, Dad? I don't want to complain. It's nothing, really.
Mm-hmm, I see. Well, the first opportunity I have, I'll talk to George about letting you in the snake house.
How'd you know, Dad?
Oh, just a dad's understanding, I guess. I was a boy once, you know.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Just one thing, Paul.
Yeah?
Remember, George has big responsibilities, and he takes pride in seeing that they're well taken care of. Stay away from the poisonous snakes. They're dangerous. Morning, George.
Good morning. Got to clean this cage out. If this monkey'd stay away from the broom.
Hello there, Pedro. How's the chief snake keeper's helper this morning?
He's a lot of help. All he does is run off at the mouth and eat bananas and get into monkey business like most monkeys do, I guess.
I guess that's what monkeys are made for. Hey, Pedro?
Here, Pedro. Don't take on so. Stop that racket.
What's the matter with him, George? He acts like he's afraid of something. Look, the king cobra's out.
No, it can't be. The cage is locked.
Turn around and look, man. That isn't a hose crawling out of that cage door.
Oh, we've got to stop him.
"12 long feet of danger slithers slowly out of its cage. King Cobra, deadliest of all poisonous reptiles. Quick as greased lightning, cunning as a fox, and ruthless. For a frightening moment, the two men stand paralyzed with awe as the killer moves soundlessly out of the cage onto the service floor. Suddenly, the director springs into action.
George, throw the door locks. Make sure nobody's in the building. I'll
Right
get
away,
a stake.
Chief. The sticks are behind the door.
Get out of here, Pedro, before you get killed. Let's see now. Here are the stakes, poles. Now, Mr. Cobra, we'll see if we can't talk you into going back into your cage.
The building's locked, Thad. I've got a shotgun here.
That's fine. Stay in back of me, George. I'll need plenty of room to maneuver this character.
Let me take the risk, Thad. It's my responsibility.
You just stand ready with a shotgun. If the snake gets me, then it's your job to kill him.
Okay, Chief. He's all yours.
I don't want to lose him unless it's absolutely necessary. He's a valuable specimen.
Watch him, Chief. He sees you now.
I'm watching him, and he's watching me. I'm going to try to get this loop around his neck before he hoods.
Maybe you'll be able to get him before he suspects a scrap.
Is this his eating day?
Yes, he's fed. He should be rather lazy.
Oh, just raise your head up now, big boy, and don't hood out or your goose is cooked.
Now, Thad. He isn't hooding.
I've got him, George.
Good work, Thad.
Get a hold on his body and we'll put him into the cage before I choke him to death.
Right.
Have you got him all in?
Yes, all 12 feet.
Wedge his body down with a pole so I can take the loop off his neck.
Okay, I got him. Take the loop off now.
There. Release the pole and we'll slam the cage door.
Now.
Phew. We were very fortunate this time. That fella's fast.
Oh.
Half a second more and he'd have piled right out of here again.
You said it, Thad. We better go around and look at him through the glass and see if we heard him, huh?
All right. And then I want to find out how that cage door got unlocked.
I guess he didn't hurt himself. He seems to be all right.
Yes, he's all right, George. You'd better put some sedative in his water supply to cool him down. It isn't good for him to get too excited.
Okay, I'll do that, Thad.
Now, one question. How'd that door get unlocked, George?
Thad, I don't know. It beats me. I always check the cages carefully. You know that.
George, I'm not questioning your integrity. Anybody can make a mistake. I make more of them than anybody else does. But this, well, it's frightful. Just be careful, George. Do you hear?
Thad, I know you think I did it. But there were others in the snake house beside me this morning.
Others? Who, for instance?
Well, Paul.
Are you intimating that Paul left the cobra's cage door open?
I don't know, Thad, but, well, I just worry about the boy's making a mistake, that's all. I'm very fond of the boy. Watch him grow up from a baby to a fine lad. But I don't think he should be in the snake house, at least alone.
Well, I think I'm a better judge of that than you, George. He's becoming quite a herpetologist. He won't make any mistakes, I'm sure. Anyway, I've given him specific instructions to stay away from the poisonous reptiles.
Thad, I don't like having anybody in the snake house, even Paul. That is, before and after visiting ours.
Well, now, let's not argue about it, George. Just be sure you give the cobra a sedative. I'll see you later.
Paul!
Hello, George.
Paul, what are you doing in the snake house? I thought I told you I didn't want anybody in here before I arrived in the morning.
My dad says I can come here. I just wanted to exercise my black snake.
You're not going to exercise any snakes until after I get here. And I don't intend to get up at 4 o'clock just so I can be here before you. I suppose you know all about what happened yesterday.
Yeah, my dad told me. Boy, what a close call that was. Sure must have been some job to put that cobra back into its cage, huh?
It wasn't easy. We had to wrestle him around a bit.
I should say, 12 feet is a lot of snake to handle.
Well, I've got work to do. I can't stand here and talk all morning.
Okay, George. I'll put the black snake in its cage in a little while.
You remember what I said about coming in here before I do it. Paul, come here.
What's the matter, George?
Plenty's the matter. How did these cages get unlocked? 3 of them.
3 cages unlocked? How'd that happen?
That's what I'm asking you, Paul. Did you unlock these cages?
Of course not, George. I didn't. I'd tell you if I did.
Well, if you didn't, all right. Just the same, I don't want you in here before I get here in the morning, and that's an order. Do you understand?
Sure, George. If that's the way you want it, I'll put the black snake back and leave right now.
Hey, look, Bill. Here's a king cobra. Well, the card says he's 12 feet long.
That's a lot of snake, isn't it, pal?
Oh, I'll say it is. Hey, look how he moves. Very little effort, too. Boy, what a smooth operation.
Yeah, it sure is. You know, the only critter that isn't afraid of a cobra is mongoose.
Mongoose. The animal's called a mongoose, Stumpy.
Stumpy talk about more than one. Maybe he think they come in flocks like Canadian geese.
Okay, so one of them critters is called a mongoose. When you're talking about a whole bunch, you call them either mongooses or mongeeses. Now, which one of them words do you use?
Oh, Stumpy, are you murdering the king's English?
Take it easy, fellas. Stumpy, the plural for mongoose is mongooses. Don't let these
Bill,
fellas...
hey, look at the cobra. Look at him.
Great Scott! He's getting out of the cage. Henry, find the keeper.
Bill, right away.
Stumpy.
George!
Grey Wolf.
George!
Start herding the people out of the building through the other door. And keep them quiet. I'll guard the service alley so the snake can't get out.
We get people out plenty quick.
Don't take any chances with that there killer, Sonny. If he tries to get out, fill his head full of 45 slugs.
Bill, Henry tells me the cobra's out again. Is that right?
Take a look, George.
Yes, it's the cobra all right, and he's hooding. That means he's feeling ornery. I'll sound the alarm and get some help.
The escape alarm. It's the snake house. Oh, don't tell me another one's gotten out. Howie, Dick, John, grab shotguns and let's go.
Do you think the cobra's out again, Thad?
Oh, I don't know, Howie. Let's get in the car, boys, and get there as fast as we can. Well, George, I wonder how many more times we'll have to put Mr. King Cobra back into his cage.
I certainly hope this is the last escape he makes, Chief.
Yeah, me too.
That's for sure.
It had better be.
I know what you mean, Thad. But I did not leave those doors open. Moreover, Paul was here before I was here this morning again, after I'd forbidden him.